everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order. This is a regular meeting of the Board of Education. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided. The schedule of regular meetings of the Board of Education was adopted at the reorganization meeting on January 6th, 2026. Schedule and notice of said meetings has been posted and mailed to the Retrospect, Courier Post, and filed with the clerk of the Borough of Oaklyn. All the foregoing has been done within the time required by law in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act. And roll call for attendance.
Ms. Brown?
Here.
Mr. Deasy?
Present.
Mr. DeMarco?
Here.
Mr. Genther?
Here.
Ms. Love?
Here.
Sorry. Mrs. Marmion? Here. Mr. McMillan?
Here.
Mr. T?
Here. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, we have no executive session this evening, so we're going to move on to item 3, our presentations, and we're going to start with our Hawk Heroes for the month.
Good evening, everyone. So tonight we are celebrating our January Hawk Heroes, and they have been selected for being kind students. So at OPS, we define kindness as a person who shows care, empathy, and gratitude towards others. Students who are kind consider the feelings and needs of others, have a desire to help and do good, and treat everyone with respect. So when I call your name, Mrs. Soloway is here to help me tonight, so she gets to give out your award, and I'm going to read something that your teacher wrote about you. So our first kind student for the month of January is our kindergarten student, Theodore Doherty. Come on up. Theo shows kindness every day when he greets his kindergarten classmates with a friendly good morning. He shows empathy and caring when friends have hurt feelings or are sad or feeling lonely in the classroom and on the playground. Theo is inclusive of others and is helpful to those that are in need. We are so lucky to have Theo in our classroom because he makes it a kinder and better place. From Mrs. Southard. Our first grade students, stay right there, Theo. Joey first. Come on up, Joey. Joey is a wonderful example of kindness in our first grade classroom. She's always ready to help her classmates, whether that means sharing supplies, offering a friendly smile, or including others in games and activities. She listens carefully, uses kind words, and shows empathy when someone is feeling sad or frustrated. Her kindness and caring attitude help make the classroom a safe and welcoming place for everyone. Mrs. G. Our third grade Hawk, Olivia Pavoni. Come on up, Olivia. I'm sorry, second grade Hawk, Olivia. I already graduated you a year. Not a here for you, sweetie. Olivia shows kindness each and every day in our classroom. She is always helping her classmates and making everyone feel included. Olivia takes the time to explain things when friends don't understand and is a true voice of peace during disagreements. She consistently goes above and beyond, offering to help and doing little favors that make our classroom a happier place. We are so lucky to have such a caring and thoughtful friend in our class, Miss Deloya. Congratulations, Olivia. And we have a certificate. We'll just hold it here for our third grade January Hawk, and I'll read Leo Diaz. Leo demonstrates kindness every day, both in and out of the classroom. He consistently treats others with respect, empathy, and always uses kind words. He is always thoughtful in his actions, willing to help classmates and make sure everyone feels included without being asked to do so. His positive attitude and kindness makes a meaningful difference in our classroom. Mrs. Willihan. Congratulations to Leo. Hopefully he's watching. Our fourth grade Hawk hero, Liviana Martinez. Coming up, Liviana. Liviana demonstrates kindness every day in our class. She works well with others and is always willing to offer someone a partner or include a student who may not have one, making sure that no one feels left out. Despite some challenges thrown her way, Liviana remains kind, respectful, and compassionate. She is often the voice of reason among her peers and consistently chooses to speak with kindness and positivity. We are so lucky to have her kindness in our class, and she truly deserves this award. Miss Guarino. And I think we're holding another certificate for our 5th grade Hawk Hero, Cadence Walsh. Cadence is an incredibly friendly and kind person. Her welcoming personality was evident when a new student arrived to 5th grade this year. Cadence is kind and pleasant to her teachers and fellow students. She is well deserving of the January Kind Award from Mr. Weisenstein. Congratulations, Cadence. Okay, Hawk Heroes. Now can you flip around so the board can check you out your certificates and give you a big round of applause?
Got called down to the office. All right. Another big round of applause.
All right, congratulations, Hawk Heroes. We are going to move on to our second presentation of the evening, which is our elementary program highlights.
Dr. McDowell, you're going to be in charge of clicking slides. Well, I'll get us started just by introducing. We are presenting the Oaklyn Public School Highlights presentation tonight, and I have some people here to help me do so. So Mrs. Soloway, our assistant principal and preschool supervisor, will be covering our preschool kindergarten highlights. I will then cover our elementary and building highlights, and then we have Dr. Whitehouse in the building and our school psychologist, Lori McDermott, who will cover the special ed highlights for our building. So let's wait till we start up. And Mrs. Solomon, we're starting. No pressure.
Okay, here we go, our highlights, our vision and mission statement. Here we go, preschool and kindergarten curriculum. I'm going to talk about that. And let's first off, talk about Kickstart Literacy. It's a new part of our preschool curriculum this year. It addresses the new literacy requirement that's early childhood is requesting. It's also more directed instruction when it comes to literacy, letters, sounds, but it's done fun, like through play, but also rhyming words. I was in there the other day watching them with rhyming words, and nonsense ones, they got it and they just ran with it, and they were giving up all of the rhyming words that they could think of with the teacher. It's very interactive. It's only 20 minutes a day. Just gives them a little bit more, like, not just learning through play, but just a touch of like directed instruction there, and it helps in kindergarten when they get to kindergarten. And then we also have Goldfinch. That's a game-based assessment tool. That's also a universal screener, and it will check their letters and sounds and how they're progressing through the program. That is, we haven't quite started that yet, but we will be soon. And Owls Pals. We have Owls Pals in preschool and kindergarten, and Owls Pals is a social emotional learning tool for the students. It helps build like foundational skills to help them cope and show empathy and resilience and social skills, things that we use as adults. So we're starting them to give them some of those skills early, and it's a lot of that is done through puppet shows. The kids love it. They know the names of all the puppets and who's coming to visit them and what they're going to talk about. It's also a nice tool for teachers if they are seeing something in their classroom that they want to adjust. They can have it do a little puppet show to show what they are looking for and to help them resolve the purpose of the lesson. Let's see, what do we have? Oh, and creative curriculum. We are in our second year of implementation of creative curriculum in kindergarten. It is a curriculum that we do in preschool, but 2 years ago, we decided to try something new in kindergarten with creative curriculum. It is still taught with the district curriculum, but it's a more developmentally appropriate approach. It also includes what they call project learning time, and they do studies. So I know they've done the grocery store study and the building or the town studies, and they learn. Everything that they're doing in the classroom is based on that study, kind of like preschool, but more direct instruction and goes right along with our curriculum for the district. We've also noticed a huge reduction in behavioral issues in kindergarten, where we're not sitting at tables listening to the teachers talk at us all day, and they're up and around and moving. So they're learning and getting some movement, and it really seems to be making a big difference there. What's next? Oh, and here's some pictures of Owls Pals and Kickstart right here from our kindergarten and preschool classrooms. Good. You want to talk about attendance?
Thank you, Mrs. Soloway.
Yep.
So our next slide, when we start talking about K to 5, we want it to focus on our key performance indicator, the attendance key performance indicator. One highlight is that we are super excited to see that at the end of December, and it was a crazy month of December with a lot of sickness, but we were still able to stay on target to meet our attendance goals by the end of the year. I do want to point out that the 10.47 was actually a number that we took with the preschool included, and we did decide to separate the preschool from the K-5 because that is how we report it to the state. So we report the K-5 attendance rate to the state, and as long as we stay under that 10%, we are in good standing, and we do not have to do that corrective action plan for attendance. So kudos to our attendance committee. If we flip to the next slide, I give them a lot of credit for keeping us on target. So Mrs. Soloway leads that committee, and with the attendance committee in place, we've been able to do some fun and exciting things like celebrate student attendance class-wide with our pretzel parties at the end of each month. That bulletin board shows the students who won first place in the attendance challenge for the attendance heroes, and they get to have their pretzel party. That's the fun stuff. I do want to point out that the committee has done a lot of hard work leading up to that. They put brand new procedures in place for all of our classroom teachers, starting in the classroom, for them to be the first point of contact, reaching out to families if they notice an issue with attendance right away, a few days absent, reaching out to our social worker if they feel like they're kind of not getting much of a response, to find out if our social worker, Mrs. Barnett, can reach out to those families for some assistance. We also revamped all of the letters that go home to the families after they miss like 5 days and then 10 days. So the letters are doing a much better job. And we've done some PD work with the staff at our faculty meetings, just stressing how important attendance is and how it ties directly to, better performance in the classroom, and making sure that the staff know the proper protocol to follow when we do have families that are struggling. And of course, Mrs. Barnett's a part of that protocol. I'm a part of that protocol. If it gets to a certain point, of course, we have to take other action. But kudos to the attendance committee. That is a big highlight for this school year. Another highlight this year, we're very excited that Our second and third grade team had the option to participate in the ELA pilot work this year. Our second grade is actually piloting one program, and our third grade is piloting a different one. Piloting a program has some great advantages. First of all, the teachers that are working with these programs are receiving a ton of PD and training and collaborating together, so they're gaining that understanding of the science of reading and all the state standards. They are providing students with more targeted and effective instruction this year in ELA in those classrooms. Again, and they've gotten a chance to reflect on how these programs, are really benefiting the students and the progress they're seeing by using our benchmark assessments. We'll be excited after January is over and we do the second benchmark to see which classrooms kind of are progressing slightly more, whether it's one program or another. Who knows? We don't know yet. And I would like to thank Meredith Howell for heading up that program, that pilot program with our teachers. She has been my point of contact, and they've done a ton of work this year. They also just took a survey, so they're providing a lot of feedback on those programs, and I guess those results will be out at another time. So if we switch to the next slide, you'll see our second grade program. So these are pictures of our second graders using Benchmark Advance. So in Benchmark Advance right now, these students are participating in an extended read with the story Stone Soup. And what an extended read is, they read the same story over and over in a week, but they use it for different purposes to teach different skills. So the students are all familiar with the same text, they're just using it for a different purpose. You'll also see one of our learning acceleration teachers using some of the decodable stories for that intervention time in the classroom. That also comes along with this program. You'll see some students working on their benchmark interactive games on the computers and reviewing their high frequency words and spelling patterns. So all of this stuff to go along with the new program Benchmark Advance that is one of our pilot programs. Really cool to see all of that in action. And then our next slide shows our Into Reading pilot. So again, you'll see my third grade teachers up there. At the beginning, they show a video up to the beginning of each module, and it kind of is intriguing and it gets the kids interested in what they're learning about. They introduce vocabulary terms and practice their definitions in each text section. The students have a My Book, and in that My Book, there are engaging texts, and there are also side margins, and it teaches the kids to annotate the text. They also use the smartboard of the computers to use their classcraft slides for Into Reading to review their words of the week. So again, all similar components, because both reading programs will have similar components, but slightly different, means something different, but the kids are enjoying every minute of it, and so are the teachers. It's been an enlightening experience. So thank you to Mrs. Willihan, and Ms. Miller, and Ms. Mulgrew, and Ms. Stoloya, and Mrs. Capriati, and Ms. McMenamin for participating in those pilots this year. That was voluntary on their part. The next slide, this is our second year with NWEA MAP testing, and that is, if you don't, I'm sure you've heard me talk about MAP before, most of you, but we use it for math right now, and that is an adaptive assessment, and that assessment provides us with individualized data. It'll help the teachers inform their instruction. It'll show you where, as a whole, where the class is showing some weaknesses aligned to what standards, and then individually where the individual students are struggling, and they can use that data right away to kind of implement interventions or whole group instruction in the classroom that's going to meet the needs of the students moving forward after they get those benchmark assessment results. We are taking the winter benchmark assessment between now and February 4th, so we're excited to see that. And we're also adding the ELA component of the MAP assessment this winter as well. So we're very excited to see what the ELA data shows us. We've been looking at the MAP data now for a while, and we're hoping that we get just as much information from the ELA data. We're also excited that this program aligns to our math program, Into Math, and if we happen to go with Into Reading, it aligns to that program as well, meaning that it will show you if a student is showing a weakness in a certain area, it'll take you right to the lesson within that curriculum that can help strengthen them in that area. So another little neat feature of the program. So on to some of our extracurricular stuff. As you saw tonight, we had our Hawk Hero program. We're very, very excited about how we revamped that program this year. We only select 6 students per month, 1 from each grade level. And as you see, that spells out Hawk Hero. Those are the traits we focus on. So we did hardworking, ambitious, welcoming, kind, honest, empathetic, respectful, and open-minded to spell out Hawk Hero. So they come to a board meeting, they get their names called on the loudspeaker, we put their individual pictures and their little bio next to them in the big showcase, and then we put a group picture out front of the cafeteria for all the kids to see. They get a pizza party, they get a special Hawk Hero t-shirt. So really cool stuff with the Hawk Hero program this year that we're excited about. And then I just showed 2 little pictures of our showcase and our Hawk Hero board. Very cute. And more student recognition. We've been doing this for about 2-3 years now. We have our safety patrol for our 5th grade, which we're very excited about. Helps create those student leaders, and they do have to maintain positive behavior during that time. So we actually use that as a reward system for them to maintain positive behavior so that they can be a school safety. And we also have Caught Being a Star for kindergarten through 5th grade. Any student can earn a ticket in Caught Being a Star for anything they're caught doing good. All of those tickets go into one big bin in the classroom, and then during lunch, Mrs. Soloway gets up on stage and she pulls a ticket out of the bin and she calls the student's name, and the 6 winners of the raffle get to have lunch with Mrs. Soloway and get some cool prizes. And we do it very fair so that everybody kind of has a chance. If they've already had their name drawn, they get to pick the next name out, and hopefully that student. So by the end of the year, we see a lot of our students in those lunches, which is cool to show them that positive reinforcement. And I think that's a wrap for me. I'm going to toss the mic over to Dr. Whitehouse for their special ed highlights.
Thank you very much, Ms. Bolden. We're going to highlight something we're really proud of in our department this year, and that is inclusive practices. And we believe that when implemented correctly, inclusive practices benefit all students. So by way of background, some of the things we've talked about before that helped us strengthen our student supports include our district-wide trauma-informed practices training, the revamping of our MTSS process, the implementation of the Wellness Center at the high school and the wraparound services in both districts, Collingswood and Oaklyn, and our partnerships with All-In for Inclusive Education, as well as our CPAG. This year, we're focusing on the All-In grant. We're in year 2 of our systemic change grant at the middle school, so our Oaklyn students benefit from that. We also have a grant at one of our Collingswood elementary schools, and we are very hopeful that Oaklyn will be next. All-In seems to give 1 school per year, so we're going to try to push them maybe to give us an extra one next year. In addition to the Systemic Change Grant, we have some administrators and child study team members participating in monthly sessions that are a half day, which is professional development they offer just in the area of inclusive practices to help us look at what we're doing and how we can do that better. Recently, this winter, we started the Inclusion Task Force for both districts, and this is to receive some community feedback on areas of need for this work and some solutions for how we can address some of those areas of need for things we're not doing yet. And we continue to work with our CPAG. They have implemented a number of new initiatives in our districts, including Inclusive Schools Week, Neurodiversity Celebration Week. Each PTA now has a CPAG partner to help us work together with our PTAs. And also some specific situations that arise, we have engaged in problem solving for system level change through our CPAG. And finally, we have regular consultation with me and every principal. Ms. Bolden and I met today for our latest session just to talk about things that arise at the building level and what we need to do, and also things that are going well. So I heard the word inclusion a lot with our Hawk Hero Awards, so that was very awesome to see. And now our amazing case manager, Lori McDermott, is going to talk to you about some of our programming here and how we are improving inclusive practices at the building level.
Thank you, Dr. Whitehouse.
So I get to brag a little bit about what's happening here at Oaklyn in regards to our preschool. So this is just 5 points of where inclusive practices in the preschool can benefit. So the first being language and cognitive growth. Overall, students in this setting do make a higher gain in regards to that language and that communication. The second would be interaction. They do have a higher social competence overall. The kindergarten readiness to be able to meet benchmarks with a higher likelihood. Impact on typical peers in the inclusive setting would be neutral to positive, again building that empathy and kindness. And inclusive long-term placement, inclusive settings are less restrictive and give students more time with typical peers. The next slide just highlights some of those opportunities in our current program. So you'll see on the left there, that's the opportunities for language and growth during our circle time. A lot of students able to present what happened in their home and family news and letter and number identifications happening there. You'll see in the middle social opportunities, students able to work on fine motor skills. They also have an opportunity with peers to do opportunities on the rug, work on personal space and listening skills, attention skills. They also have opportunities, it's not captured in these photos, also with a gross motor opportunity for peer interaction. You'll see readiness there where students have goals and jobs, working on responsibility, flexibility, schedule following, and then you'll see our long-term goals. Obviously, our students are superheroes, and they start their preschool opportunities here in Oaklyn with a inclusive growth mindset.
Thank you to everybody who presented, Dr. Whitehouse, Laura McDermott, Mrs. Soloway. Any questions? And if it's for you, you're coming up to answer them.
I have one. That one of the first slides with that 10.47 or whatever. So that one was including pre-K, and then the
Yes.
September through December was not.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Yes.
Thanks.
That was an easy one.
So it's important to clarify why the change, and so education preschool is not compulsory, and so it's twofold because it's voluntary and it's a value-added measure, and because the state doesn't report on it, we change how we were tracking. That does not mean for all of the parents that are watching us online that we don't want your children here every single day. It just means that we are not in trouble with the state as it relates with attendance because our school is going above and beyond to make sure that every child is here every single day.
Yes, we are still tracking the preschool attendance goal and sharing that with staff as well. So that's still being tracked.
So is that was it presented at 10.47 to the state, and that's why it's on there, and we couldn't retract it back, or?
No, we actually did get to, that was just September to October, so last year our number from September to June was reported to the state, and I believe we did include preschool in that number, but then the state took the preschool out, and we did come in under the 10%. That's why we did not have to do the attendance corrective action plan.
So the numbers that you see are internally. This is how we measure progress. And so we update on a monthly basis our internal tracking to make sure that we're on pace. School leaders lead that conversation at the site level, and then the district team, they provide support when the school dictates that they need additional support in a specific area.
Ask a question about the inclusive preschool.
Yes.
So is that a new initiative this year or last year?
I know.
We've
We've had inclusive opportunities in our preschool program for dating back to me starting here in 2010, but we're just getting, I guess, better and better at it, and more opportunities arise each year, and we try new things. We actually have our one preschool class completely teamed up with a gen ed class, our preschool self-contained class, so they are in with those kiddos every day for definitely a couple hours a day. Is that it? Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mrs. Bolden, and to everybody on the team. We're going to move on to item 4, which is Committee of the Whole. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor? Motion passes. Any topics for Committee of the Whole? I did send out goals in the retreat were 2 that I wanted to talk about. I made a little one sheet with our current board goals for us to look at tonight, and sent out the big chart that the school board's made for us.
I have something to bring up. We talked about it in committee, and we talked about it a little bit in Collinswood as well, but that regionalization bill that's going through, I just wanted to bring it to public mind that it is something that's slowly being discussed. I believe there's a committee forming in Collinswood about regionalization. The bill is being written right now, and so there are eyes on it to discuss how that would look, whether it would be Oaklyn getting absorbed into Collinswood, or Oaklyn getting absorbed into something else, or a whole lot of schools getting absorbed into one bigger school district, but nobody really knows much of anything, and I think we're going to work on the feasibility study. There's a grant going out there for a feasibility study, and my understanding is if we take the grant for the feasibility study and the state finds it feasible that we regionalize with another school district, then we have to do it. Otherwise, we have to pay for the grant. If we do not accept it, then we have to pay for the grant out of pocket. So I just wanted to let the public know that it's being discussed. It's something to look at. I'm sure it's been showing up in news feeds now since it's at the state level, and then we'll see what happens with what the state does. That's all.
Any thoughts or ideas on things we want to take a look at for our upcoming board retreat? If not yet, that's fine too. You guys can always email between now and then.
I just wanted to follow up. We sent a letter out to families about immigrant rights, which I'm really glad that we are addressing that with what's going on in the country right now. And I know the Department of Education recommends that we send information out, so we are following the Department of Education. It also recommends training, so I wasn't sure if that was something we could discuss in terms of, I guess I'm new here, but like what our thoughts are on seeing, kind of training opportunities for faculty for supporting our students and families.
Any other topics for Committee of the Whole? All right. Hearing none. Motion to close Committee of the Whole.
So moved.
And seconded.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Motion passes. Moving on to item 5 is our future dates and miscellaneous information. Some upcoming highlights. We have our MASAC gym night coming up for 4th and 5th grade on the 23rd. Our PTA blood drive is coming up on the 24th. We've got our winter book fair on the 25th. I mentioned our board retreat. That's on the February 7th. Some early dismissals in February and staff PD. And then we'll be closed for President's Day. And then our February board meeting will be, that's when we will shift to Thursday evenings, and that'll be here in the Media Center on February 19th.
I do know, it says February 7th says 11 a.m. I believe you guys are in the morning.
Yes. Yeah.
So just note that, like, don't go by this. I think you guys are starting off the day at 9, and then I believe Collingswood's meeting you at lunchtime. So I just note that.
All right. Moving on to item 6, routine board business. We're looking for a motion to approve the minutes from the regular board meeting on December 16th and the reorganization meeting on January 6th. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second. All in favor? All right, motion passes. Moving on to item 7 is our first public comment section. To all participants, please remember to stand, state your name and address, keep comments to 5 minutes or less. The purpose for this public comment section is to discuss items listed on the agenda. Additional more general comments may be made later on in the meeting during our second public comment portion. The public's reminded that attempts to resolve all concerns and complaints should go through the appropriate staff members and administrators. Do we have any public comment? All right. No public comments. Moving on to item 8, the superintendent's report.
So good evening again on this lovely, warm evening. Section 8.01 is the enrollment report. December 2024 was 274. December 2025 is 271, and that report is attached. 8.02, 03, and 04 are the safety drill, suspension, and anti-bullying report. Just have just a few announcements to share with our community. On December 18th, the high school hosted Instant Decision Day in the Media Center. 8 talented and motivated students were accepted into universities like Shippensburg, Gwynedd Mercy, Monmouth, Rowan, Kane, Ramapo, Stockton, and the likes. We would like to thank our counseling team for organizing the event. And these students not only received instant decision of acceptance, but the majority of the students also received tens of thousands of dollars in scholarships in order to help pay for school. And so we are incredibly proud of all of our students, and we look forward to this is the season where on a weekly basis we get announcements of acceptances, of scholarships, and committals for both academics and also athletics. And so congratulations to our students. We would also like to share that the high school also awarded or received notice, official notice from the Department of Education, that we had 9 of our students meet the threshold and will earn a distinction of the New Jersey Seal of Biliteracy during their graduation ceremony this June. And so the Seal of Biliteracy is a statewide confirmation, but a national recognition of students who have studied and attained proficiency in one language in addition to English before they graduate from high school. And so this is it's a big deal. And so it's not only the academic work that students go through, they're also tested, interviewed, and evaluated by independent evaluators, and then it is certified by the state, and it is a specific distinction on their high school diploma. And so congratulations to the 9 students that met that threshold, and we'll continue to make sure that we are growing that out, because what it does from a family perspective is it assists with students being able to, in many schools, they get to bypass their foreign language requirement when they get to college. That immediately puts money back in the pockets of families, and then it gives students flexibility to pursue other goals and dreams in their post-secondary endeavors. And so there's a very real-world benefit for students participating. We'd also like to congratulate our high school students for being named to the College Board 2025 Advanced Placement Honor Roll. And so this is a national recognition based on criteria that reflects a commitment to increasing college-going culture, providing opportunities for students to earn college credit while maximizing college readiness. And so our high school this year had 45% of their seniors who took at least one advanced course exam during their high school career, with 36% of all seniors earning a qualifying score on at least one of those exams, and 10% of our seniors took 5 or more of these. And so what this directly translates into is that students who earn a qualifying score have the opportunity to also receive college credit, which is in a real-world scenario provides tremendous financial benefits, as well as opens doors for additional college scholarships and acceptances in prestigious schools, because students have already demonstrated that they're taking college-level courses and that they can handle that rigor. And so we would just like to continue congratulating our students as well as our staff for creating a college-going culture and then providing and adding value back in the lives of our students in our community. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
May I ask a question about the languages that the students took to get the seal of biliteracy? Do you know that?
Spanish, French, and German.
Dr. McDowell, another quick question. How long has that program been around? I've never heard of it before.
The seal? About 20 years. Yeah. It started predominantly in states like Florida, Texas, California, due to large numbers of students that were coming in proficient in more than one language, as a means of recognizing achievement and a skill set that is highly desirable. And it's continued to expand. Years ago, I was the regional superintendent of all of the high schools in Denver. We started it in Colorado back in 2013, and then expanded it. It started off with 12 kids, and now it's about 300 to 400 in that district. And then it's continued to grow. And so more and more states, at least half of the states around the country are now offering it. But we fully anticipate more states to offer it.
And do we know how that compares to other neighboring districts, how many students they tend to have earning that seal?
We do not. We do not.
Curious to see how we're doing comparatively to schools of similar demographic. And then I was wondering, were we ranked in some way for the AP testing? Was there a special recognition we got, or was that just the numbers? I couldn't remember.
So we received what's called bronze ranking.
And then, again, how do we compare in terms of our percentages to schools of similar demographic?
So the school by school comparison, to my knowledge, that has not been released through College Board. They tend to be really tight on their data, and so as soon as we have that information, we will share. We'll come back and share that.
Can I ask one other follow-up question? I think that's, as a comment, wonderful that we have that. And, there's a lot of talk in our district about the advantages and disadvantages of sending our kids to Collingswood High School. So I was very, very happy to see that. Is this the first time, or have we received this recognition before? Or has Collingswood High School, sorry, as a parent, I feel so...
This is the first time that we have received the AP Honor Roll, at least in the last 5 years. I cannot speak prior to 2021. If we're going to toot the horn of our teachers and our students, I will add one additional component. And so when we think about academic performance and achievement, the New Jersey District Performance Report tracks college-going culture. And so as it relates to college-going culture, students having the opportunity and the ability to be able to not only take college credit-bearing courses, but earn credit, Collingswood High School and the district, we are at 60% of our students have the ability to not only take but also earn college credit-bearing courses. The state average is 30%, and so we are double the state average of students having the opportunity to take college credit-bearing courses. And that's a testament to not only our students but also the talent of our staff. Many of our staff have master's degrees in content areas, and they are certified through our university partners to be able to offer college credit-bearing courses that our students are not only taking, but they're passing and then earning the credit.
Kudos to our teachers and to administrators for earning that great ranking.
All right, moving on to item 9, which is the Business Administrator, Board Secretary report.
All right, up for approval tonight, 9.01 is the listing of your December monthly transfer report. 9.02 is your Board Secretary Treasurer's report and cash report. 9.03 is the listing of the purchase orders that have been issued for the month of January. And 9.04 is the listing of the warrants that will be paid tomorrow morning pending approval this evening. And that's it.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item 10, which is our Finance, Facilities, and Shared Services Committee report. Ms. Love, take it away.
Good evening, everyone. So I'm just going to go through all these. 10.01, the approval of transfers, right? 10.02 is the Board Secretary certification of over expenditures. 10.03 is the Board certifications of no over expenditures. 10.04 is the approval of Secretary and Treasurer reports, and 10.05 is the purchase orders. 10.06 is the warrant approvals, and 10.07 is the minimum wage, and 10.08 is the use of facilities for the Oaklyn Little League. What's that? Oh, we're seeking approval for, sorry. 10.01 to 10.08. Thanks, Tracy.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
And second?
Seconded.
Moved and second. Any comments or questions?
Just one. What exactly would be warrants? Like, what do you mean by warrants?
Those are just the checks. Yeah, I just call them, it's the legal term. Yeah, no, I'm not going to arrest you or anything. No, it's just we have the checks are invoiced, prepared for payment, so it's, yeah.
All right, on a roll call.
Ms. Brown?
Am I so?
Just say yes, it's fine, yeah, yes. Yes, yes or no?
Yeah, or abstain.
Mr. Deasy?
Yes.
Mr. DeMarco?
Yes.
Mr. Ganther?
Yes.
Ms. Love?
Yes.
Mrs. Marmion?
Yes.
Mr. McMillan?
Yes.
Mr. Tavy?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, motion passes. Moving on to item 11, it's our Curriculum and Personnel Committee. Mr. DeMarco.
Good evening. Item 11.0, we are 11.01, we are seeking to approve a field trip to the Museum of the American Revolution in April. Item 11.02, we are seeking to approve a student-teacher observation placement. Item 11.03, we are seeking to approve an out-of-district placement for a student to attend Burlington County Alternative Middle School. Item 11.04, we are seeking approval of paid medical leave for an employee from March 6th through April 17th. Item 11.05, we are seeking approval of the listed substitutes and teachers for this school year. And item 11.06, we are seeking approval of the listed travel expenses and fees related to professional development. So we are seeking approval between items 11.01 to items 11.06.
All right, do we have a motion?
So moved.
And second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions for the Curriculum Committee? Hearing none, on a roll call.
Ms. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Deasy?
Yes.
Mr. DeMarco?
Yes.
Mr. Genther?
Yes.
Mrs. Love?
Yes.
Mrs. Marmion?
Yes.
Mr. McMillan?
Yes.
Mr. Tavy?
Yes, motion passes. Moving on to item 12, School Community Relations and Policy Committee. Mrs. Marmion.
Good evening. Item 12.01 is a report from the Collingswood Board. Mr. McMillan.
Good evening. On the 22nd of December, the Collingswood had their regular board meeting. We had an amazing presentation by the Madrigals. Did I say that right? Yeah. It was they did a whole bunch of they just did a whole bunch. I mean, there's a lot of them. A lot of singing, musical choir, and it was fun. Yeah, it was really good. They actually have I believe, where is it? March 4th. They have a concert at the Collingswood Middle School, which I mean, I would honestly go. It was great. There was a recognition for Kate Seltzer for her time spent on the board. And then they did a New Jersey School Climate Improvement Study with Rutgers. And I asked if Oaklyn and Woodland was included on that, and not yet, but I think Ms. Bolden has been in touch with them, so that's gonna happen. Let's see, what else? There was a student body rep that said that they were taking flex time to openly discuss AI with students and teachers alike, because there's no policy yet that's defined, so they're just took it upon themselves to figure out what they're doing, which I thought that was pretty admirable of them to do. And then since then we had 2 reorg meetings, and we have elected Kelly Maya as the president and Zakia Devine as the vice president, and we passed committee of the whole for committee instead of doing separate private committees. We're doing committee of the whole, which will be tomorrow night if you want to tune in to YouTube for a few hours. We'll be there, and I think that's it.
Thank you. Item 12.02 is PTA liaison report, which would be Mr. Deasy, but I will report tonight because he was unable to be there. Happy birthday again. So the PTA met on January 13th, and they went over their tremendously successful December events. We're talking about the upcoming events, many of which were on our upcoming dates. Another shameless plug for the blood drive, which is this Saturday, and appointments are still available, and you might know somebody who's involved. So also upcoming exciting events are the book fair coming up next week. We're starting to talk about the PTA Talent Show, which is March 13th, so we'd love to see all board members there. And then the very popular GLOW event is coming up in February as well. So anyway, the PTA's next meeting is February 3rd? I'll get back to everybody on that. Sorry. Don't have it in my calendar. And I apologize for that. It is the 3rd. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to say was after the meeting, there was a great presentation by one of the parents, right, on technology and parenting, and there'll be a follow-up, and Drew, maybe if you do want to say a word or two about next steps with that?
I'm going to meet...
To put you on the spot, sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm going to meet with PTA and discuss some discussion items, and we'll go from there.
Thank you for doing that, by the way. So I think that was a great service to our PTA community and our parents, and PTA, thanks for that. Item 12.03 is the report from OMASEC. Mr. Genther.
I spoke with Adam earlier. He just wished that I bring up the OMASEC gym night this Friday. Other than that, there was not much to report.
Great, thank you. Item 12.04 is the Oaklyn Education Foundation report. Ms. Loud.
Nothing to report as of this month.
Thank you. Item 12.05 is policies that are none at this time. Item 12.06, regulations are none at this time, so we're done.
I just want to say we did get a packet. I know, everybody's so excited. We did get a packet for Strauss Esme. Woo! I did go through it, so they will be, I did review all of them. They will be up in February. Okay.
Maybe before I close the committee or pass it back, we are starting to talk about the centennial celebrations. So we had a small committee meet, just so that you know, and I know that one of the things we want to talk about at our retreat, in addition to board goals, is more town halls. So looking forward to that.
Can I add one thing, too, that we talked about in the committee, just about streamlining how we communicate with the public? So providing, discussing at our retreat how we can, take our meeting minutes, which might not be palatable for everybody, and condense them to something more user-friendly. And can I add something to our retreat topics, or should I wait? Just that AI discussion that you brought up made me think that's something we should probably talk about. So I just wanted to add that, as well as we talked about taking a look at all of our events and making sure that we all sign up, because we all know we want to go to the events, but we're all very busy, so we just want to make sure we sign up so we can all have a presence at our great community events, because our PTA works so hard. So thanks.
Great. Thank you for that reminder. I want to start circulating a sign-up genius, if anybody's ever used that platform. Probably parents of school-age kids have, and hopefully we can have presence at more of these school events going on. So again, blood drive this Saturday. 7:30 to 1:30. 8:30 to 1:30.
We've got to item 14, which is our second public comment section for the evening. This public comment section is for any topics. Public's reminded to please stand, say your name and address, keep comments to 5 minutes or less. Public's reminded that attempts to resolve all concerns and complaints should first go through the appropriate staff and/or administrators. Any public comment for this evening? All right, hearing none, we will close our public comment section. Moving on to item 15, motion to adjourn. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor? Motion passes. Have a great night, everyone.